All right. We are live. I'm just waiting for YouTube to catch up with us. Come on. There we go. All right. Welcome from behind enemy lines to Rick's Life as I See It, a 1-hour talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Also, answer any questions from you, the listener. Just put it in the chat boxes or send it to Rick's Life as I see it at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I am, is it simultaneously or simulcast broadcasting on gun channels and YouTube. Also, normally within 24 hours of the show ending, the audio file is downloaded on the Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes for your listening pleasure. I have a Patreon page. It's listed on the banner above the chat and gun channels, and it's in links below the chat box on gun channels. And what else I got to say? There was something else I was going to mention. Oh, t-shirts at spreadshirt.com. Just type in Rick's Life or Spotted Rick, and my stuff should come up. And there was something else I was going to mention. I can't remember what it was. That's to teach me for not writing it down. But anyway, welcome to today's show. Native Gun Midnight Range is in the YouTube. We got G, General Relativity, Ohio 45 on gun channels. We got, Gun Loving Grandpa Stanley just joined us. Good to see you. And there was something else I was going to mention. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, we got to do last week's quiz, which was a bunch of stickers and stuff, and the $1,000 Clover Tech Productions patch. That's got to be worth $1,000. I don't even have one. You know, and that's one of the new ones too. So you guys are letting me down again on this. I'm not getting many entries. Maybe I need to do something different. And also, I need to ask a question of you guys too. I'm getting double entries, i.e., you send me the answer on both email addresses. Now, do I take that as 2 entries or just 1? What do you think guys think? Hey, Roosted. So, anyway, let me get my random picker here and see who won. Let's see. We only had 4 people enter, and it was an easy question, too. All right, let's draw. Patriot in the Dark is the winner of that great patch. So there we go. I better give you a question and the answer, too, ain't I? It would help for people who didn't know. The last week's question was, what Soviet pistol was commonly given as gifts or awards to government or party officials? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. The Kovanov pistol for the TK pistol. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but the people who entered got it right. So there we go. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying, Roosted. I was taking it as a single entry right now. You know. So there we go. Anyway, I want to say, hey, Clover is on the panel. Good to see you.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know where everybody else is, but you're here, so that works.
Slackers. They're all slackers.
I know. And I sent out the email. Plenty of time. So let me do this. I'm putting the link in the chat room on both. I don't know if YouTube and gun channel. So if you want to join the panel, hop on in. The more the merrier. So anyway, as my topic said, you guys more than likely read this. Facebook. I can't remember the name of the news. It was a local newspaper that they do it all the time. They print stuff on. I think it must be a business Facebook page, and they printed the Declaration of Independence on their. They put it up on their page, and Facebook censored it as hate speech and took it down. Can you believe that crap? Mind you, they did admit their mistake and apologized, but that's because they're using a computerized algorithm. And I guess I don't know what would be in the Declaration of Independence that would spark a hate speech algorithm. But there you go. That's what they claim, and that's what they're claiming anyway. So
Facebook and Twitter both are riddled with trolls and organizations and everything else that report stuff. And it's a lot like with the YouTube stuff with the robots or whatever that, seal your fate, and then somebody has to come back behind and try to clean it up. It's kind of it works the same way over there, except for the trolls are a lot worse.
Yeah, it sounds it.
Somebody probably, and I say somebody, some organization probably had, 200 people report it or something.
Yeah. More like all the, anti-American people.
It's getting bad because the Declaration is starting to get to the point to where a lot of leftists are actually viewing the Declaration as a religious document.
Yeah, but it's not.
No.
They're just trying anything they can to, I don't know what they want to do. Open borders, let anybody in. Eventually, we won't be a country anymore. We'll just be I don't know what you would call it.
Well, they make the point that because it says endowed by their creator, it has that phrase in it that, that's a religious document. Okay.
Yeah. See, now, here's a good example. Everybody knows I'm in a 12-step program, and it says, our higher power or a God as I understand him, right? That means I have my own concept. It could be the goddamn air conditioner as far as I'm concerned, as long as it keeps me sober.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever, man.
That's how I take that in that declaration. It's
right.
You take it anywhere,
It could simply be the universe, right?
Yes, exactly. So I don't know. It's getting pitiful. It really is. Some of the stuff that I'm hearing is unreal. Unreal. Oh, I just wanted to mention to all of you great guys out there who call football soccer. Did you notice that England beat Sweden 2-0? They're into the semifinals. First time since 1990. And the time before that, I didn't realize they were that bad. The time before that was 1966 when they won the World Cup.
Wow.
There you go. So
I'm guessing all the probably the Latino countries probably whoop their butts pretty regular, don't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's where that's where some of the greatest players came from. Originally, I think the first one was Pelé, then there was Madonna, and they got, I can't even remember who they are at all now because I don't really follow it as much as I used to.
I don't at all, to be honest with you.
I watched the game the other day on there because England was playing. I would watch it if USA was playing too, but they didn't make it this year. This one. So anyway,
I know. I'll tell you one thing I see consistently over the years though. They pack in the crowds. And,
oh yes, they do.
That's crazy.
They do. Like on a normal Saturday afternoon in England, these stadiums hold 60, 70,000 people, and the stadiums are packed. And 90% of it is standing only.
Yeah, they're regularly over capacity.
Oh yeah,
That's why you have a lot of the you see every now and then the bleachers sections of bleachers will collapse and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, it goes crazy. I mean, Latin American and you said countries, Europe. I mean, that is a natural sport.
Have you ever been to a soccer game over there?
Yeah, in England I have.
How much does it cost? Just curious.
Oh hell, I can't remember now. When I went, it was years ago.
Yeah.
And I think it was about £20 years ago. But then I would imagine it's around £40-50 today. I have to look it up.
What would that convert to dollars?
It's roughly $1.80 to the pound, roughly.
Okay, so it'd be about
80 cents makes £1.
About $60 or $70 then.
Yeah,
$60.
No, I have to look it up to make sure.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because all of these places are packed, and a lot of times they're packed in some real crappy countries.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me wonder. It's like when the Dallas Cowboys can't fill the stadium, right? There's football season here, our football, and then Lithuania or whatever it is can pack a soccer stadium with far more people.
Oh yeah.
It's like how are they paying? What's the price of the ticket? It just makes one wonder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll have to check into that because some of these soccer players are paid some big bucks. Right. Mm-hmm. So actually, hey David, good to see you.
Hey brother, how you doing today?
All right, not too bad.
What are we talking about?
Oh, we were just talking about football or soccer. I was just saying England made it into the semifinals, the first time since 1990. Me being part British, I had to bring it up.
Well, good for you, and good for the English, the UK. That's really good because I know a lot of countries have been dominating that sport, and the South Americans and a lot of them.
Yeah. Oh my God! Patriots made it in before the show's over.
I tried.
Good to see you.
How's it going? Thanks for the invite.
No problem. So that's what we're talking about is soccer. And I also talked earlier about Facebook made a mistake and censored the Declaration of Independence on a newspaper's page on Facebook. They said it was hate speech.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but as Clover said, more than likely, the anti-government haters most likely flagged it, and so it's all done by computer nowadays.
Well, it was actually because of one of the complaints at the bottom of the Declaration of Independence. It lists all the complaints that we had against the British king, and one of them said something about the savages, and so it was referring to, I believe, Indians. I'm not for sure, but there was some words in there that were not acceptable.
Yeah, see, but that's like anything else. You got to take it in the context it was written, when it was written.
I had heard it was a religious connotation of the creator clause.
Nope.
But I mean, who knows? Who knows? It could have been anything they wasn't happy with. They find stuff. You know how they are.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that was what I got up to, and next thing I was going to bring up is, I don't know if anybody saw it, was that California Supreme Court, I believe that's in the Ninth Circuit, they upheld that gun manufacturers must put the laser etching mark on guns, or they can be identified by some laser. It leaves a mark on the bullet shell when it's fired. And but the only problem is they upheld this law that they have to do it, but no manufacturer has come up with a system to do it. So they upheld a law saying it has to be done, but there's nobody doing it. Because
it's not practical at all. It's very, very cost prohibitive.
Yeah, it's not practical, and if they put it on the firing pin, all you got to do is put a new firing pin in, and then it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's gone.
Right.
So the manufacturers aren't doing it because they said there's no way to do it right now. You know, but the Supreme Court, because what happens is they said, well, we might as well knock that one out because it doesn't exist. No, they go, no, they upheld it just in case it happens. I mean,
of course.
That's a Ninth Circuit for you. You know?
Yeah, that's the Mickey Mouse court.
Yeah, it just made me laugh. It really did.
Well, what they're doing is, ineffectively, they are banning firearms, because if none of the manufacturers are able to even manufacture these guns with these firing pins that will leave a telltale sign of which gun the round came from, I've heard stories of 200 to 500 rounds through the firearm, and it defaces the front of the firing pin, that microscopic edging or whatever they're required to do with laser. It defaces it so that basically it could leave a different mark or an unlegible mark. And what's to tell the person that they don't pick up a couple handfuls of used 9mm brass at the range and dump it at the crime scene? I mean, that's just stupid.
I agree with you. It really is. But I said, I just happened to see that. I was reading it, and I go, this is unbelievable. I mean, that's something that, the Ninth Circuit, the daft left will do. And, I mean, talking about that, I mean, they're all going nuts right now because Trump's got the Supreme Justice to pick. He's going to let us know on Monday. Who do you think is going to be?
Kavanaugh.
I think it's going to be that female. Who I'm thinking. Because if you actually, what's his name? The senator from Utah was talking to somebody on a show, and he kept referring to her in his thing. So you mean he might already know who from what they're saying is he knows who Trump was going to pick. But I don't know. Maybe that's just a ruse to get people thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think whoever it's going to be is going to follow the Constitution the way it's meant to be followed. I mean, I can't understand. I've heard people class it as the Constitution should be a living document or something like this. And I'm assuming what they mean is it should change with the times. And, hey, it's worked for 242 years. Why change it?
Well, principles of freedom and liberty don't change.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It just doesn't.
They just want to change it to suit their agenda.
They want it to suit communism because this is a big push of the globalization of the entire world. They want everybody working like they did back in the USSR, Mother Russia. Everybody's on equal playing grounds. But while they do that, the political elite and the rich elite, they still stay in their same position. They don't actually bow down to the same conformities. And this is what happened in Russia. And it really leads to the downfall of that political party. If you look, Russia lasted a little over 200 years, I think it was. Was it 170 some years? The Communist Party in Russia, until it fell with Reagan in the 80s. And, we have surpassed the 200-year mark. And it seems like if you look back at all big political parties that have happened all over the world, the 200-year mark is really kind of pivotal. If you look, most of them fraction off around that time. Most of them either go under, or they become a different party, or they become a tyrannic party. I think it has a lot to do with people get complacent with freedom, and they have, in today's generation, has no idea who's paid the price for that. And so they're willing to throw it away without two shakes of their head because they've never had to hold a rifle on a battlefield. And that's just, if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it. And I've seen here locally, I don't know if you guys want to chime in on this, but our recruitment stations and little offices are going out of business like Blockbuster, the VHS movie rental place.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 5 of them that were as close as walking distance to me, within 6 or 7 miles, and they all but one have gone out of business.
Yeah, I think Rhode Island has one in Warwick and one in Providence. I think we only got 2 in the whole state. But then we're a small state. But
yeah, but there was more than that during the Vietnam War. There was more than that after 2000 or 2001.
Yeah, but I mean, also recruiting stations is done by the actual branch of the military. So sometimes there's more than one, right? With the different branch, or they all work out of the same office.
Well, sometimes they'll share an office if like the area is really expensive real estate. But mostly the Army has their recruitment center. The Navy and Marine Corps will sometimes have theirs in the same location because basically they're kind of the same.
Yeah.
But a lot of Marines will tell you, it's not the same. I'm like, well, you ride around on a damn Navy ship. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. And Marine is sort of like a nautical term or word.
Yeah. And a lot of their sayings and stuff are very close to the Navy's. So they're part of the team, but they're more closely related. And the Air Force, that's kind of off on its own. And I haven't seen.
In the war, when the war started, it was part of the Army, wasn't it? Because it was the Army Air Corps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we're going to have a Space Force soon. So there we go.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
I think of that movie. I'm sorry, Rick. Go ahead.
I said I kind of like that idea of having a Space Force.
I think it's neat. I think of that movie with Sigourney Weaver, Aliens, with the Colonial Marines.
Yes.
that just gets me really pumped for something with guys going into outer space and stuff like that. Well, I should say guys and gals nowadays.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they're going to figure it out how to survive up there for longer periods and all that. I mean, the only thing is, I eventually can see us, right now, they can, the spacecraft, or they can take their helmets off and go around in their underwear because of the air. They got the air circulation and this kind of stuff. Pretty soon they'll figure out some gravity thing, to hold them in, down and walk for them to be able to walk. I reckon, but maybe I'm getting ahead of myself there. So.
Well, they already really have the idea with centrifugal force. That they spin an object like you'll see on a lot of the sci-fi movies, where an object will spin around the main body of the ship. It might be a round, like hallway almost.
Yeah.
And basically, because of its spinning at a certain RPM, it throws the weight of your body against the outer shell of the walkway. So you're able to walk, depending on, the faster they spin it, the more the gravitational pull increases. But they are able to do that so that you can basically run to stay in shape and run with gravity to run against your muscles, like when you're on Earth, and run in this big circle. And it's supposed to be like that. And they're trying to make something now, I've been told, that will simulate that same force, but they're able to do it on a craft that doesn't actually have a moving part.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it will come eventually. You see how far we've come in You know, the last what? Say since America was founded. You know, I mean, what was it? I mean, in 1969, when the first moon landed, was it 69?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
but think about it. You know, your smartphone today is more powerful than the computer that sent the rocket to the moon. You know, it's amazing. So I can see that happening. You know, the technology is unbelievable. Well, anyway, we're coming up to almost the halfway point. I don't know if you heard me at the beginning, Patriot. You won last week's question.
Oh, cool. I emailed you that Facebook about the Declaration of Independence and why they said they banned it. So sorry, that's what I was doing. I missed it.
No problem. This week's quick quiz is, I got some stickers here, plus the van patch from G-Webs when he goes on his gun show tour. So that's for the quick quiz. And the question is, hang on, let me find it. Got it right here. Bring this one up. And who was going to... Oh, okay. This one's real easy. The gun sight training facility was created by who? Now, come on, guys. You can find it on Google. You guys should all know this. Very famous guy. The leader in self-defense. Give you another clue. He's died now. Oh, come on, people. It ain't that hard.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah. Hang on. I put it in the side chat there, guys. I don't see nobody answering it. Oh, come on, people. Google it. Gun sight. It's a training facility. Let's see. The gun sight training facility was created by who, or who started it? I guess is the correct question. So, wake up, easy question. Yeah, I thought it was, especially for the G-Web's van patch. I mean, that should... Okay, Roosted Films, you won it. That's it. Jeff Cooper was the answer. All right, you're the winner of that. And I got another question. I got another question at the end of the show. Now I'm gonna be honest. Hopefully I won't be here Wednesday because I'm under the knife. So if anybody wants to, use my hour or whatever on Wednesday night, feel free. Where I was going with that is I'm going to try to get these out who wins this and stuff before I go under the knife, or it might be delayed a little. I'm only meant to be in hospital for a couple of days. So if I don't get them out before, it will be after. But they will be on the way. I just want to let you guys know. So, there we go. All right. I don't have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to ramble. But the next thing I got, which I found interesting, and I know some of you, I don't know how many of you listen to, Armed American Radio. It's sponsored by, the United States Concealed Carry, thing. But it's based in Georgia, is where the guy lives who broadcasts the show. And was it the Georgia Coalition or whatever they're called, the Second Amendment of Georgia or whatever? that they took the Army Corps of Engineers to court. Anyway, I can't remember the outcome, but the case wasn't dismissed, but it went away because I can't remember how it was worded. The case can be brought up again if the Corps doesn't follow what they promised. Basically, if you write to your district commissioner of the Army of, New England has its own district, so you write to the commander. Would it be commander of that district, and you ask permission to carry on Army Corps of Engineers property? They are meant to grant it to you. They will send you a letter saying, yes, you can, but you have to carry this letter with you. Because a letter went from the headquarters of the Army Corps of Engineers to all the districts saying to allow it. So that's what he said. He has permission in Georgia to carry on, and other people have done it. They wrote into him. They said they've been approved too. So I thought it was a good idea. I'm going to write to the New England one here, see if I can get permission. Because I've got Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Maine carry permits. So I think I got it about covered. So what do you think on that? Did you hear anything like that, Clover? No, he must have stepped.
No, I'm here. I think you may know more than I.
Yeah, I said I've only heard this on the radio. What he was saying, and he was talking about it again last night. Somebody wrote him an email saying he was going to try in California to see what happens. But basically you have to have a carry permit first to start with. So unless your state doesn't need them, then you and if you email the guy, he will email you. He will send you back. He did have it up on Armed American Radio website for quite a while. Well, he had it up there for about a week ago. A template of the letter he used. He took it down now because he put something else up there. But he says if you email him, he will send you a copy of the template he used, and you just put in your name and where you live and all this stuff, And he said you're more than welcome to use that. So I wrote him an email asking him to send it to me, and I'm going to try it here in New England. So, David, have you heard anything?
No, I haven't heard anything. Now, this is to carry on what type of land?
Property belonged to the Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
Recreation parks, lakes, and all that kind of stuff. Besides taking care of the infrastructure of the United States, they own lakes, parks as well. People don't realize it, but they do.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I thought it was the wildlife, what do they call that? The officers that they have that you always see when you're out in the woods during hunting season.
The
hey,
DNR.
Clover, help me out. What is
DNR?
it? Yes.
DNR? Yeah.
Yeah, the wildlife officers, that they have body armor, badges, pistols, they're regular policemen.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I thought that's who ran in the park services. I didn't know that Army Corps of Engineers. And basically, so how does that work? I mean, because I've had hunted on, federal land before, where you fill out your hunting permit, show them your hunter safety course ID, and they give you a license, and then you get your deer and your buck and doe tags. Yeah. But that's hunting on federal land, so that would be the Army Corps of Engineers.
I don't know if it would or not. Well, where I'm saying a good example is if you guys are in Georgia or if you heard of it, there's the biggest lake in Georgia. It's outside of Atlanta. It's called Lake Alatoon or something. It's enormous, right? And that belongs to the Army Corps of Engineers, the actual lake, and all the parking around it belongs to them. And where I was going with it, because the guy the radio host, he has a boat on that lake, and he says I can't. He said I couldn't carry. So now he can. He can carry on his boat when he's out there on the lake because it belongs to the Corps of Engineers. You know. So, I mean,
yeah, that's interesting. I never knew that there was a tie between those two.
I just looked it up. I was curious as to how much land we're talking about. 12 million acres.
Yeah,
spanning 12 million acres is what they can
now here in Rhode Island, all they have is, which I wouldn't be able to use, is they have their besides the normal infrastructure of the stuff, but here, I mean, there's a flood thing they've made in Providence, belongs to them. But Connecticut, I think there's 6 lakes in Connecticut that belong to them. That people boat on and stuff. So I'm saying, something to look into, guys.
Now I put a link in the side chat, Rick, to all of the areas. That's a link, and it breaks it down by state and whatever, all the different areas under Army Corps of Engineers. In case anybody's curious.
Does that show the districts as far as broke up by states, or is that kind of overlap? Maybe.
Yeah, you can sort it. You can sort it, I guess, here by state, and whether it's a campground or a recreational facility or just wooded area or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, 2 Live Moo. So anyway, so it's something to look into. Now this, I mean, he claims. The guy claims that, I mean, to do it, he's telling everybody on the radio, he's been telling everybody for a week now to do this, write to the commissioner of the district that you live in to get permission for that area. Whether you can do it for, I mean, like mine comes under New England. I mean, I would imagine Texas has their own district. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so big. But, or it might be broke up into different districts. I don't know. Whether say now, what I don't know is say you get permission in Texas, Clover.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to use it like in Florida on a Corps of Engineers property? I don't know.
It being federal, I would think probably so. You're not talking about carrying in public. You're talking about being able to carry on that land. So that's
concealed. Normally, is what they're saying. They don't want you to carry open. They want you to carry concealed.
Well, but what I'm saying is that's different than being able to carry every day in public wherever. You're talking about being able to, carry on a very specific piece of land. So, and that land is federally owned. So I would think that it would be universal.
Yeah. But I said, I tell you what I'm doing. I said, I wrote him an email. The guy's normally good. He normally answers every email he gets. It might take him a day or two to get back to me. But when he does, I'm going to send the email out and I'll let you know what happens.
But, something I wonder is, a lot of states, you can only hunt with like a pistol or a shotgun or something. Straight wall cartridge, which is essentially a pistol, right?
Yeah.
And then you're not even able to, on a lot of these lands now, you're not even able to carry a pistol. Not even in a hunting capacity. They won't let you carry a pistol.
Oh,
well, that's kind of weird because that restricts in some states. That would restrict you being able to hunt on this land.
Well, is that different though? This isn't considered for hunting. This is just for concealed carry as far as
this is
defense.
In general. Yeah.
Okay.
This is in general. Yeah.
Clover.
Because otherwise it would be a time specific also, for what your hunting seasons are and stuff. So
that's true too.
I'm sure it would just be like an open, if you're carrying for defense.
Patriot.
Right. It would be like the same as carrying if you were going on a hike, for protection against whatever. Yeah.
guys, in the state of Florida, you can open carry, and this is the only way you can open carry if you are fishing or you are hunting or you are going to a fishing hole or fishing bridge or location where you want to fish, and or if you're going to a hunting location, or if you're going to a range or a outside shooting area, and you are allowed, and there's a statute on our laws that states that we can openly carry. That's the only time, and the only reason why I know about this is a group of the guys from, I believe it's I may be wrong on this, but I think it was Florida Carry, went and the guys all fish, and they were down in Fort Lauderdale, I want to say, or Miami, South Miami-Dade, and they went to a bridge. They had called the police department the week earlier and asked them if they could, do this. The police department didn't know the statute. They said no, unless you have a concealed carry permit. And then they said, open carry in Florida is against the law. And basically, they all got detained. And then when the commanding officer came down, and the kids, the young men that handed them the actual book with the statue in it outlined, and they called the state's attorney here in Florida, and they said, go ahead and release them and give them back their firearms and ammunition, because that is on the books. So basically, you can open carry. I guess I just found this out when hunting, fishing, or going to one of those locations or the shooting range.
Yeah, but that
So
wouldn't
if you
include
go down a range,
hiking or just walking around.
Yeah.
yeah. So if you're just going to the range, you can open carry. Walk out your house with your holster on the outside, jump in your car, drive to the range. Open carry. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I would check on the driving part, but I'm sure it's, to go fishing or something, because you don't want to get jumped by some alligator or
I can understand
boa
it.
constrictor,
Get your weapon fast. Yeah.
But I'm sure I would definitely check before I drove anywhere down there.
Yeah. Now, here's a weird law talking about that. Here in Rhode Island, get this. It's by... No, I can't think of the... local police stations, basically, shall issue on carry permits. You got to do a hoop of stuff. They want letters. You got to get letters of recommendation from 3 people. You got to tell them why you need it. You got to go for an interview. Bunch of crap. But anyway, that's for another show. But once you get through that, it's a shell issue. The Attorney General's office, when theirs is only a May issue. Yeah, it's weird. This is a weird state. It's a May issue, but if the Attorney General issues you a carry permit, that's what it states, carry permit. You can carry outside or inside the waistband. What I'm saying is concealed or open. But nobody's ever tried to carry open, because the police would more likely detain your ass here in this. It would freak people out opening carrying up here in Rhode Island. But it's legal if you have one issued by the Attorney General. It's damn weird, the laws up here. No, it's weird to have a half and half too. On the most states are either shall or may, one or the other. Rhode Island goes either way. It depends where you. That's why most people apply at the local municipality. Is that, I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce the word. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Municipality.
Yeah, because that is shell issue. Because you still have to do the same stuff. What I said about getting the letters and all this, You have to do that for the May issue too. But on the shell issue, what the law states in Rhode Island, when you have that, when you get it all, they can't just say denied on a shell issue. They have to tell you why in specific details, and most of them can't. So, they're issuing them here in Rhode Island. But then again, was there 1.5 million people in Rhode Island? The last count is only 4,000 CCWs in the state anyway. Because people don't want to go through that BS of trying to get one. Because, from start to finish, it took me about 9 months to get it. And, I was determined, so I went and done it. Mind you, I must admit, in that 9 months, 2 months of it wouldn't have helped anyway, because that's when I had the operation on my left hand, and I had to start to train with my right hand. So you can take that out. So say it took 7 months to do it. So there we go.
On this Army Corps of Engineers land on thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, you can thank Richard Nixon for that.
Why?
Because he's the one that put that regulation into play.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. Not about Democrat or Republican, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old.
Of course, we all know that.
Tricky Dicky, as they used to call him.
Yeah, he pulled a tricky one there for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, we lost David. He must have lost his connection. So he'll be back, hopefully. So,
you made him mad. He left.
Well, I can do that to some people.
All of your violent rhetoric, Rick.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, guys, shall I start a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter? To be quite honest with you, it's kind of embarrassing being on a fixed income like I am. I pay all my bills, and there ain't a lot of cash left. And I'm trying to figure out how to raise the money where I can order some new stickers for myself.
Kickstart.
Do a Kickstart?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what you can do is, that's not an exorbitant cost. And then what you can do is turn around if you can get, thing is, if 10 or 12 people kicking into that could essentially pay for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Oh, yeah. Here's the
example. It's what a lot of people don't understand about the whole Kickstarter and the Indiegogo and the fan funding stuff is that you're not kicking in to buy the product. You're kicking in to help out. Is what you're doing.
Yeah, it basically sort of like the same principle as a Patreon thing.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was thinking. To be honest, I think, using that, use the Gun Channels discount with Alan Anchor. The last price quote I was given, I can get I think it's 100 stickers for $95. Now, that's not a lot. And I think that's a good deal, personally.
Yeah, and hers are really, really, really good stickers.
Yeah. But right now, where I'm going with this, $95 is a lot of money to me right now.
No, it is. Yeah.
Because I got other things. Plus, I'm going in. To have my hip done and all this other kind of stuff. So I got medical bills I got to take care of. So
it's one of them things to where. Well, the majority of that stuff you end up, honestly, you end up giving away. Or at least this is my experience. So I, may not be so.
Well, I use the stickers. I'm not, I use the stickers as prizes.
Yeah, you end up giving the majority of them away. So with people kicking in, the notion that they're kicking in to help fund this project, and then you're turning around and making a bunch of money off of it, simply is not true. Because by the time that you set aside enough to reorder, because you got to do that, that's the first thing you got to do. Say, okay, the first so many of these, or I got to sell so many of these to be able to reorder, right? By the time you set those aside, and then you give away, like I said, the vast majority of them, then you have none there that you're actually making profit on.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll look into doing a Kickstarter on that. See what happens. No harm in trying. Even if it goes, if I can get some towards it, then maybe what's left I'll be able to swing. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And she made your stickers before, right, Rick?
Yeah, yes. And believe it, the first 50 I got, because I was the first one I got for free.
Yeah.
As it was sort of like a thing that G Webbs and her worked out between them somehow, which I was very grateful for. That's why I wanted to reorder with her. She done them for me free the first time, so I thought I'll give her the business for the second thought,
Right.
And she's going to do it with and I sent her an email, and she said no problem. She'll do it with the new avatar I have, that has the monocle and the mustache and the cartoon-looking one that I'm using. So the one here that's on my lower thirds, basically.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Oh, it's almost the end of the show, so all right.
Wow.
For this week's thing, I got a bunch of. There's a few stickers in here. There is I don't know what this is, but it's a patch. Flight Light patch. Don't know what it belongs to, Oh, I got one of G Webb's clipper strip stickers. A Glock pen. What you call it? One of them drives things. And a Glock 17 keyring.
Whoa. Mini Glock.
Yeah, mini Glock 17 keyring.
Check your state regulations for that, people. Just saying.
Sorry. I don't know if everybody see it. That's a little mini one.
Probably can't have that in California. But.
So, I'm assuming you can have it. If you better check it. If you can't have it, then we're next week. I'll see if I can find something else for you.
And that stripper clip sticker, my daughter says that's a gymnastics with a paper clip. It's a gymnast. So just in case you have to name it something different.
Okay. The question is, this one's not that hard either. Most of you should know this. In the U.S. Now, these questions were given to me by the Daily Gun Show, and most of them were put in by Sean, what's his name? Angry American or whatever his name is, and Dano. So, if the answer is wrong, don't blame me. But the question is, in the U.S. Army, with your rifle, you're qualified to one of 3 levels of competence. What are the 3?
In the Army?
Yeah, in the U.S. Army, with your rifle, you qualify to one of 3 levels of competencies.
Good enough, bad, and very bad.
What are the 3 levels you get to with a rifle in the U.S. Army, basically? And that's a write-in to Rick's Life As I See It at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. And we made a decision at the beginning of the show that for the people that are emailing me on both of them, it's still only 1 entry. It's not 2. I just thought I'll mention that. So you can email me to both if you wish, but only one of them is an entry. So that's that on that one. So do you need me to give it to you guys again, or you got it? have to be in by midnight on Friday. And hopefully I should be well enough to do the show on Saturday. I should be. If not, I will do it. I'll let you guys know from the hospital. I'm going to take my cell phone with me. You know, if I'm going to be in there longer than a couple of days, I'll get my cleaning lady to bring my laptop up to me, and we'll take it from there. So I just wanted to mention that, and I want to say thank you to my panel for being with me. Clover, you got anything you want to promote or push or?
Oh, Rick, I don't have anything necessarily pressing. Good to be here. Thanks for the invite.
I appreciate you showing up. It's always good to have you. And Patriot in the Dark.
I thank you for the invite, and I got in quick. I'm getting the hang of this stuff.
All right, you got anything to promote?
I just, go to gear websites, buy some stuff, check out all the projects that G is putting on, and kick in anything you can do.
Russ Carr goes, well, this cleaning lady sure does a lot of stuff for you, Rick. Yes, she does. She does. She's 47, got long, sort of brownish hair. I mean, she's got a good set of lungs, and she's actually even taking me to the hospital on Wednesday morning too. She's taking care of my cats. Well, that's another thing, guys. I lost one of my cats, the big ginger one. He, I don't know if you guys told you, a couple of weeks ago, he got into a fight. Well, my landlord put a wooden sort of slab type thing under my window, and he wrapped the garden hose around it. Well, this stray cat jumped up on it. He saw my cat sitting at the window, and they got into a big fight. Tore the screen to hell. I managed to keep my cat inside and stuff. I done a patch job on the screen, for the cats can sit out and watch it, and they were no problem. But the cat came again the other night, and my cat pushed against my repair job, and he fell out the window. And what happened was, when he fell out, I think it scared the shit out of him. And when he hit the ground, he jumped up and took off. And I haven't seen him since, and that was Tuesday night. So I'm a bit sad on that, but I've got all the stuff out. I mean, the local, I called the local animal shelter. They put out an Amber Alert in the town and stuff. It's all over Facebook. It's all over websites in Westerly here where I live. And hell, he's a 25, 30-pound cat. He ain't easy to miss. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not dead, I think he will eventually show up. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know that. So that's it. So I want to say thank you for Clover and Patriot for being here, and David for being here. And unfortunately, he fell out. And I want to thank you to everybody who showed up in the chat. Roasted 2 Live, Moo, Russ. Who else we got here? I think. Who else did we have? I know there's somebody else here. Native Gun Loving, Grandpa Stanley. I think Patrick was here. A bunch of others, and General Relativity, Clay, Ohio 45 ACP. So I just want to say thank you all for being here, and I won't be here Wednesday. So if anybody wants to use my hour, 7 to 8, feel free. But I hopefully will be back here next Saturday at 3 p.m. after my little surgery for my new hip. So I will see you then. Goodbye, guys.